Now, what about Princess Beatrice and Eugenie? They've, of course, fled the UK and are reportedly barely holding it together, Josh.
Yes, that's right. Both of them have fled the UK. Princess Beatrice, I think she's been spotted with a business economic initiative in Saudi Arabia. So, and actually, Princess Beatrice has been smiling for the pictures. Of course, Beatrice and Eugenie will both actually carry on. They will still hold their both their princess titles and their York titles as well. So actually, they're very different from Prince Andrew and of course his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, who is understood now. I originally predicted that she would stay with Prince Andrew. Now she's reportedly been telling sources close to her and friends that actually she's making alternative arrangements. I think when Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson were living in that 30-room, that expansive Royal Lodge residence on the Grand Windsor estate, they had separate areas. There was enough space to keep their distance. Now, with Prince Andrew probably going to be moving into a much smaller, probably more sparse accommodation on the Sandringham estate, that separation, even though that they've been living together since their divorce, it's going to be a very different existence. But Princess Beatrice and Eugenie, it must be so tough for them, because notwithstanding the fact that Prince Andrew still denies all allegations of wrongdoing, Princess Beatrice and Eugenie are completely innocent. They've had absolutely nothing to do with it. They have no responsibilities over their parents. They're just trying to get on with their lives, their own careers, while still maintaining some sort of connection with the royal family to appear on certain public events when required. This must be deeply embarrassing for them. So, and whilst actually Princess Eugenie is actually on a girls' weekend in Paris, trying to let her hair down, both of them, I think they're just trying to carry on with their lives, whilst, it must be deeply embarrassing for the princesses, for their parents to be engulfed in huge scandal.
Now, Prince William and Princess Catherine have reportedly moved into their new Forest Lodge home in Windsor with their 3 children, which means they'll be closer to Andrew ahead of his departure. Also, Josh, Prince William and Princess Catherine have also reportedly thrown a party for the workmen who helped them move into Forest Lodge sooner than expected. Is that right? Also reports that they're very keen for a bit of a fresh start.
Absolutely, they're keen for a fresh start. So you might remember that in 2022, they moved into Adelaide Cottage, a 4-bedroom residence on the Windsor Castle estate, a much smaller residence than Royal Lodge. Of course, they still have Amner Hall, their huge country home, and their official London residence is still apartment 1A in Kensington Palace. However, of course, with Princess Catherine's cancer diagnosis and getting over that, undertaking the preventative chemotherapy treatment, they're now moving into their forever home. Now, the Prince and Princess of Wales were meant to move in to Forest Lodge after Christmas. However, they brought their plans forward, and actually they've spent the school half term settling into their new home with their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. And yes, they did, as a gesture of thank you to the workmen who were working around the clock to try and get them in early. They moved their plans forward. They threw, as reports suggested, a thank you party for the workmen at the private members York Club pub, which is a members only pub specifically for the residents and employees of the Crown Estate in Windsor. So this was a real nice gesture of thank you after bringing their plans forward. Workmen working around the clock, wanting to get them into what's been deemed by sources close to the Prince and Princess of Wales as their forever home. Now, this is an 8-bedroom mansion, grade 2 listed, built in the 18th century, very different from Adelaide Cottage, which is far smaller than their new Forest Lodge.